Hello, Scrappy friends! I'm back again with another layout, and I am doing this one from a challenge on the Hip Kit Club Facebook group that Ashley posted. It was a recipe challenge to use 6 things, 2 of which were a design on a diagonal and white cardstock. So when I saw the challenge, I was kind of inspired, and I decided to go ahead into my Silhouette software and create a title on an angle, and I'm going to cut it out of some white cardstock. So I have my photos already printed and selected, and it's some photos I took of my kids on the 4th of July, and so I wanted to make the title that says, "Oh My Star." So I created a huge rectangle, and I rotated it a little bit so that that's going to create my angle. And now I am just going through my different fonts and typing the phrase, "Oh My Stars," and I wanted the word stars to be a different font. So I have so many fonts on my computer. I just search for them and find ones that I like, and oh my gosh, I'm on those free font sites for hours picking out different scripty ones and ones that will weld together well. So I'm just resizing my font here, right, my phrase rather, on the angle. And I don't know if you saw, but I attached the phrase to the shape, the rectangle shape, so that it would go on the angle. There are lots of tutorials out there that show you how to wrap text around a shape. So that's what I did, and then I just welded it all together. And then I cut it out. So here are the things I'm using from, well, some of the papers from the Hip Kit Club May Kit, and I was definitely knew I was going to use that navy paper for the background, and I love how that title came out against the navy paper, so it came out pretty good. I was very happy with it. The M on the word "my," though, for some reason got cut off and didn't weld right, so I just, well, it didn't weld all the way, so I had to glue it down a little bit more than the other letters. And I had to measure there so that I could make sure that the page was exactly 12 inches high. And just gonna glue down those letters. And I only glued like a thin line on that navy cardstock, or that navy paper, because I want to cut off the excess paper from the back and save as much as I can. So I didn't glue the whole big piece. I just glued down just right along the diagonal line there. And there was a little piece of paper stuck in the word "my" that was bugging me, so I had to cut it out with a knife. So here are my 4 photos, and they didn't line up completely across on the diagonal and stay within the page size, but I end up being okay with that, and I will trim off the corners of the photos that are sticking off, but I did want to keep them in a row with all 4 in a row instead of stacking them 2 on top of 2 or whatever. So I wanted to have that long strip of photos. So I'm just going through the papers here, and in my head right now I'm thinking that I'm going to use the pink and the navy, of course, and maybe some aqua, and I really wanted to bring in some red. And I was thinking about painting some strips, just kind of like some dry brush strokes, thick brush strokes of red on the page, like maybe in between some of these strips here, maybe under or above my photos, but I don't end up doing that because I'm going through all of these ephemera pieces, the die cut pieces, picking out ones to go on my page, and I end up picking the yellow ones that say, the yellow letters. They're kind of yellowish, they're kind of like, I don't know, a greenish yellow, almost like a citron, and I bring in some of that yellow into my page instead of the red. So these photos are just some random ones of my kids from July 4th, and I wanted just to get them one nice picture of them in their 4th of July outfits, but then they started rolling around the grass and acting silly, which was great to capture, but then it turned into a fight, as it always does. Okay, so back to the page. I wanted to bring in some more yellow to match the word yippee. So I cut some yellow from one of the other pattern papers, and I tried to place the stars when I cut them out with my Silhouette. I tried to place them on that paper so that I could still use that whole other piece of paper for our background, the one with the orange and the pink and kind of the black and white polka dots. So I try to strategically place them when I designed it in the Silhouette software to make sure they were right in the right spot where I could put a photo over where I had cut the stars out of. So yeah, I'm glad that I went with the yellow here. This is kind of a non-traditional, well, the yellow kind of makes it a non-traditional July 4th page, I guess. I guess the pink makes it kind of non-traditional too, but it's different for a change, not just red, white, and blue. So I was really happy with that yellowish green. So this is actually how my page pretty much ends up, the design anyway. So, but I wanted to do something with those arrows, and because I didn't want to leave them just plain wood. So here's where I actually decided to bring in the red, and I played around with some paint colors. This is just some acrylic paint, the cheapy ones that you can buy at your craft store, and I paint them all red. And I tested it out first on another little piece of chipboard before I actually painted them, and I was happy. It matched the color of my daughter's shirt perfectly. So I had this frame, and that was another part of this recipe challenge, was to use a frame, and it wasn't quite the same color blue as the other aqua blue elements. So I'm just whipping out some gelatos. I was thinking about inking it. I tried some inks and that didn't work. And I just whipped out some gelatos, some different blue ones, and just smudged some of the gelatos on there and rubbed it in with my finger, and it came out really close. Close enough anyway to the shade of blue that was already on the page, so I was really happy with that. So now I'm just going to go through and start putting a few things down. I know I want to stitch, and I'm going to just adhere down the things that I want to stitch over first, and then I'm going to go back and take off all the other little bits, stitch, and add everything back on. And I'm rearranging my photos here because I wanted that one photo of the second one in for there from the left of my kids really laughing. I wanted that one to be in the frame because that was a good little capture. I am just enjoying this kit so much. I've already created 3 or 4 pages with it, and I have so many more ideas of things still to create. I think I could probably get another 2 or 3 before I've gotten to the point where I've used up pretty much all of it in the kit, so I'm really loving this kit. So now I'm going to add some mists, and I just have to cut up a few scraps here to cover up my photos. And I'm going to use a teal from Heidi Swap. Actually, I think the color is just called teal. And I'm going to drip those on. And I was really mad because one drop ended up right smack in the dab of the letter A and the word stars. And it just bugged me because it almost looked like, I don't know, I just thought I made the letter kind of look a little bit messed up, but oh well. And then this is a navy. This is an old navy. I can't remember. It's from Art Anthology, and I don't even remember what the name of it. I've had it for so long. Is that the right one? No, I'm sorry. It's an old Maya Road mist. So I've had it for so long, the label has completely worn off. I can't even read what color it is anymore. But okay, so I've stitched here. I stitched right underneath the phrase "Oh my stars," and I ended up using red thread, which you will see better in the close-ups. And it doesn't even really look that red, but it helps bring in the red from the arrows that I painted red, and then my daughter's shirt in the photos as well. And I go back, and I don't place things back exactly where I had them, but pretty close to where they were. And I'm glad I cut out as many stars as I did because I think it really helps the yellow kind of flow down the page from the top left corner where I have the one little star, and then you kind of go down to the middle cluster there between the title, and then down to the bottom. Your eye gets drawn down to the bottom with the other stars. And same thing kind of going with the flow of the page and the colors. I had to put something else navy in the bottom right corner because I just felt that there was too much navy in the top. So I added the little round circle die cut there that says hi. And then of course I have the navy scallop strip that I fussy cut from the pattern paper right underneath the photos so that the navy continues and flows down the page. This is such an unusual color combination for me. I usually use a lot of bright colors. I was a little uncertain of it at first, but now that it's done and I use the colors I did, I really like it. So different for a change. And when you first look at this kit, it didn't seem like that you would be able to get this color combination from the kit, but because there's so many bright colors in it, I didn't pull them all out from the kit, so just a few of the colors, and I like that. So I'm just going through and finalizing all the little bits here, and I think this is the last little thing I had to glue down. This was a really fast page for me because I take forever to scrap, and this one just came together, I think because I had it in my head for so long. And I had the idea in my head before I actually started working. So it came out exactly how I had it planned. I just added my journaling and what else did I add? Oh, the date with a date stamp on the frame of the photo. So thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed.